kids need guidance, but they don't need pushing. They create their own desires. Coaches are there for pushing. The coaches will push them. Parents don't need to push them. What we need to do is make sure their kit's ready, put them in the car, drive them to training. When they get off the ice or the pitch, you give them a little slap in the ass and say, well done, son. They play a game, win or lose, you put your arm around them and encourage them. That's what our role should be. They don't need pushing, because some kids will resent that. Some will respond better than others. But if you have to start pushing a kid at a young age, then they're not doing the right sport, or they're not enjoying it as much as what you are, or they don't share the same aspirations that you have. Kids will find their own level.
Well, from my experience with parents, they seem to have a rosy glow. I think they see more than there is sometimes, and maybe I've been guilty of that myself, not with David, but impatient with my little grandson. You see one thing one place and you can't get it to the other, so really you've got to support them, and as you see that talent grow, you've got to nurture it, be it build it up or knock it down. So and try and ignore all the outside influences.
It's important for us to know that my child wants to do it. It's his commitment too, as well as ours. And there are some parents out there that we're aware that pay for their kids to score goals. It doesn't help much for the team because it makes the children selfish players. It doesn't harbour team spirit because kids need to pass the puck in between themselves, and it doesn't happen if you've got the incentive, or one child has the incentive of getting 10 quid a goal or 20 quid a goal. But we've been asked in the change room before, how much money are you going to pay your kid because he scored goals? And he just said, I don't play for money, I play because I love the game.
You can't make a kid hungry. You can't make that burning desire to succeed in a particular sport. It's not going to be there. You can't instill that unless it's there already. So it's about being supportive. It's about being a taxi service, making sure that he's got kit, and that's expensive. You ask any hockey parent, how expensive it is and the sacrifices they have to make so that the kids can play. It's no mean feat, but we can't get wrapped up in that because I've invested a few grand in my kid to play a sport, that he's got to go and pay dividends. That it doesn't work that way. Our love is unconditional.
Well, I always had a deal. I'll take you anywhere if you give me something to watch. And that meant every time you step on the ice, I'll be there. You have to show me something. And when you're not showing me it, I'll tell you, and then moving from there. It became apparent that first game he played, which was under 14, full contact, as a 6-year-old, he got the idea of where to be and when to be there. So it was obvious then, and a comment made at school when he was playing football, that I've never seen a kid be so spatially aware where he should be at such a young age. So more or less before he started hockey, I realised something was there. And we developed it, meaning him and me. Not me, him and me. I've criticised him when he's needed criticising. I've built him up when he needs building up. Sports for all doesn't work, because if we have sports for all, we don't have any Davids. So I've compensated. My role was really to compensate when things were going wrong, to go one way. If things were going wrong with David, to push him another way, and in such a way that he wanted to. So you can take a horse to water, you can't make them drink. You give him the advice, and that wasn't good enough. And what are you going to do about it? And usually the next game would be when, okay, I got 5 plus 5. Do you want the good news or the bad news? And he's told this story. And it's like, well, an hour later when he talked to me again, it'd be, 5 goals, 5 assists. You never even forecheck once. You definitely wasn't back checking, and you was coasting. You'll never be great if you coast.
our role with Josh playing sports, we try as little as possible to get involved with the coaches, to get involved with the managers, because it's not our role, it's their role to do their job. We help Josh and hopefully help the coaches and the team if there's hockey camps or anything like that that he can go to and that we are able to take him to. We do that because that helps Josh and his team. And as I said, we don't want to get involved with the coaches. If the coach tells him to do flick-flacks in the air, he has to do that because the coach told him to do that. He doesn't need to be disrespectful to the coach or anything. He just does what he gets told. It's not my job to coach him. It's the coach's job to coach him. Coach knows more about hockey than what I do.
Your kids go to school, teachers tell them what to do. They come home from school, you tell them what to do. When they come to football, he says, I'll tell them what to do, you guys keep your mouths shut. And if you don't like the way I do it, he said, take your kid now and go and find another club because everybody's going to play, everybody's going to have fun, and they'll get better, but they're going to do it his way. And I think that translates across a lot of different sports. When they get to a certain age, yes, they have to become more serious. You know, they have to do training off the ice. They've got to watch their diet. They've got to, do video analysis and understand all that. But you know what? That's later. That's later. The formative years, it's about having fun and enjoying it. The minute you suck that fun element out of it, it becomes very tedious.
First things were, we thought it was just drive up the road, go to the rink. We never expected to be driving cross country. Not that it's a problem, but we didn't expect that. The kit, we didn't know what kit to buy. Think you can just go and buy on eBay and you'll be happy. It wasn't quite like that because then you realize, the shorts are too short or the elbow guards are too big, and it needs to fit them because otherwise if it doesn't fit them, could be detrimental to their health. So it's a lot of time, they're traveling to the rink, traveling from the rink, getting them changed at the rink, spending the time sitting in the cold. Don't like cold very much. So it's a big commitment, but he loves it. The challenges we faced is it's a sport that we don't really know much about. We had to go and learn about the sport, learn about the equipment. We faced challenges with getting to know people, getting to know the right people in terms of what's the best kit. And it's not that easy. But once you get into it, it can be fun. And we make a lot of friends. We have made a lot of friends from other clubs within our own club. So, and Josh is enjoying it. That's the main part.
Basically, no rink. He has to get on the ice. I knew people at Milton Keynes, so we took him to Milton Keynes. He didn't want to go, but he had no choice. I just put him in the car and took him. He saw when he got there that he knew people there, and that just broke down all the barriers, and he was quite happy being there. And he continued to train there. That's the only night he saw me, because I'd be working at the rink for every hour that God sent, get up in the morning at the rink until go bedtime. And we had like 200 people coming in doing work on the rink and so on, and I was just asked to run that side of it, the ice side, and just try and stop too many bad mistakes. There were welders in there doing their job, they knew what they was doing, but it was the general public that was helping that we needed to just keep a good eye on. And once the rink opened, I spent some months down there helping to rectify things to bring them up to a standard that was acceptable.
Oh Christ! I'm a parent. I mean, it's sometimes you have to temper that a little bit, because of course I'm on management, and what we're a business like anything else, and there's no nepotism in terms of his standing within the squad. We have clear divisions. Whether it's Jared Adams as coach or whether it's Paul Thompson as coach, you know what? They're the gaffer. And I don't influence that. But make no mistake, you know what? We're playing in Sheffield Arena. And if he scores a goal or makes a nice hit, I'm as proud as the next parent, you know? Yeah, very proud.
For me and for Josh, watching him play, he comes alive. He absolutely loves the game. He doesn't do that because we say you have to go to training. He absolutely loves the game. He lives for it. He wakes up in the morning and I can hear banging on the walls and the doors and everything else because there's pucks flying all over my house. My lounge has become an ice rink / roller rink. My furniture has become shooting pads, the whole works. And if he didn't love that, we wouldn't be putting in as much effort as what we did and as what we are doing right now, because he loves playing it, he loves breathing it, eating it. Josh is just all about hockey at the moment, so we support him wherever we can.
It's passion, as simple as that. If you haven't got the passion, if you drop your kid off there, walk out the door, as some do, you haven't got the passion, you can't expect passion from a kid. So, not that it was done for him to become what he is, the passion was there to support him in what he wanted to do. And you can't make that player has to be there. You can only support him, and that's basically what I did, 100%. How does that make you feel? If Beckham was your son, how did it make you feel? There's no words, are there? That says it all. That says it all. He's the Beckham of ice hockey.